Hello farmers, welcome back to Hazzard County. Well, originally I said I wasn't going to do anything to these fields back here until I seeded them, but since the ground is still only at 36 degrees, we decided to fertilize it this afternoon. The class tractor fertilized field 37, he's now down field 35. We're going to fertilize these three fields, then we're going to cultivate them kind of like I did with these two fields over here, so when I go to seed them, they'll give us a second stage of fertilization. And just a little bit less work to do during the summer. So yeah, the ground temperature is only at 36, but the air temperature is at 71. So I would assume tomorrow that these ground temperatures are going to skyrocket up quite a bit. But since I got the rest of the afternoon to do nothing, I would say, I decided let's go ahead and let's cultivate them. And you're probably wondering, why aren't you using the big bud? We don't need to use the big bud. I would like to myself, but really, you wouldn't be using it here for this situation. We'll be using it plenty enough when it comes time to seeding for sure, especially all of these fields. But for today, it's going to be the Dutes Fire. Now I just went ahead and checked just to make sure that the cultivator is fully repaired, which it is. The Dutes Fire is filled up with diesel fuel and DEF fluid, and it's repaired as well, so everything should be good to go. Shouldn't take us too long to cultivate these fields and fertilize them, except for some areas where, for some reason, like I just went over, did not cultivate it, but that's fine. I'm not going to be too picky in how things are going because the farm's doing really well. We don't have a loan at all, so the money you see is ours, and I'm just waiting for if a great demand comes up for diesel fuel and or spelt or wool. We'll be doing that today as well. So those are the three main things that we're looking at. As for the eggs for the chickens, I went and checked on the chickens, and it doesn't look like the chickens are really, what's the word I want to look for? Productive during seasons. Yeah, they're kind of slow. I think I only got maybe like 20,000 liters of eggs, which, some people, depending on what kind of map you're playing on or whatever, it's not quite a lot, really, for seasons. Or if you were playing a regular game anyways. We do have 400 chickens, so yeah, that's not a great amount of eggs. As for the wool, though, the wool's doing pretty good. We're almost up to 100 sheep. And if you also forgot last episode, cows, we're up to 27 cows. So I think I got 9 cows or so that may be producing some milk for us. Yeah, we're getting up to around 40,000 liters of milk, so that's pretty good, I think. But yeah, today's job's pretty simple: cultivate, fertilize, and cultivate, fertilize, and cultivate through the three fields. So that's what we are doing. That way, we can probably breeze through summer a little bit. Will I weed it all? Don't know, because we are in our this is our third season. Yeah, this is our third season. Yeah, we're near 2022, so this is our third season. It doesn't seem like the weeds get worse and worse every year if you don't spray herbicide or take care of the weeds. So I don't really see the need to weed it too much. I mean, if I start seeing tons of pink in our fields, then I'll be like, yeah, it's time to weed. But we're just getting like spotty weeds here and there, like you would expect. Because the thing is with weeds, you can't just hire a worker now because it doesn't take up the whole field in seasons. So you're going to hire a worker to do a certain section. He'll go over like a little clump and go, yep, I'm done. And that's it. So I think we're just going to go ahead and... interesting what the cultivator's doing there. Alright. I know the land's kind of warpy over there, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm not going to try to get every little square inch of the field cultivated. I'm not too worried about getting it all fertilized correctly. I don't need every little square inch of these fields to be fully seeded and cultivated. I do have the mod on for extended field information. And I realized when I get out of the tractor, so like here, when I go to the field, so it says field 38, 40, 37, 38, 39, 40. It keeps alternating because all that land is quote-unquote under one parcel. So when you go to the map and I hit lands, all this land right here is in one. So it's kind of reading the fields in the area. So I'm reading 38, 39. So it's reading all these fields right here. I thought it would read all of them. Wait, no, is it this? Yeah. So I thought it should be reading all these right here in this sector. And so it's getting kind of hard to tell, you know, to give you the correct information of how much yield they're going to get off a field, I think. I think that mod may need just a little bit more work. And I didn't mention it before. I did it in the first episode, but like on Green Mountain Forest, I tried showing it, and I thought I didn't have the mod installed. I did have the mod installed, and I tried it again, and the mod does not work on created fields, it seems like. So I walked over the field, and it showed nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that was kind of disappointing. That's why I really downloaded the mod. I wanted to see how it could show me how big the fields I was creating on Green Mountain Forest, but it was not doing it for me. I was trying to figure out that I missed the message that my class worker is done in the field below, but probably haven't given him that much time. I also need to figure out the situation over at the strawberry patch where the manure problem is. Yeah, I kind of explained about it in last episode, so you may need, if you didn't watch the last episode and don't know what I'm talking about, you may need to go back and watch it. But yeah, I need to clean out the manure in that so I can put some more manure in. There is a little bit of manure left in the strawberry patch. I'm going to wait till it runs out and then take the class tractor over with the bucket and see if I can empty it out. The other thing I might be able to do is maybe try landscaping where it is. Now, when you landscape and there's material on the ground, it'll delete it. So if I can't get the manure out of there, I'll try landscaping it and see if I can delete it that way. That way I can be able to fill up the manure bin a little bit better than what we have been doing. But getting back to the Big Bud, I was really thinking about using it today and cultivating. I was like, you know what, we don't really need to use it. I would like to. I've never driven the Big Bud until last episode. It's the first time I've really driven it. I may have tried it in FS17 when it was out, but I don't want to say I didn't find a use for it, because I think I had a modded T9 New Holland that had 1,000 horsepower, a quadded T9 with the same amount of horsepower, so I never got it. And the reason why, because the T9 had 3-point linkage. The Big Bud does not have a 3-point linkage. You have to buy the implement that goes on the back of a Big Bud that can hook up a 3-point implement to it. And yeah, and you know me, when you start to get tandem trailers and articulated trailers, not my best friend at all. I'll come back and get this piece here. I don't want to start swerving around to get all the pieces. I'll come back. That's a decent sized chunk. I'll see if I can come back and cultivate that afterwards. Should be able to. So I've been kind of thinking about the crop rotation around here. Like I said, I'm not going to actually go and figure out the crop rotation and see what yields best. We're just going to plant whatever anywhere, because like I said, this will be the last season on Hazzard County. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and plant things. We're going to do hops, canola, everything that kind of avoids making straw, except for a couple of these fields down here. I may go ahead and do some wheat so I have extra feed for chickens and to make seed. Because like I said, for now, this is going to be this season will be the last season, but I may come back here. I do like this map. This map is would be really good for multiplayer. So I have been thinking about, and I know I mentioned this before, sometime around the holidays, that I plan on getting a multiplayer server up. And I'm thinking this could be the map that we play on. So let me know what you think about that decision, having Hazzard County as a multiplayer map that we go ahead and use. Like I said, it could be rather interesting. It's a big map, so that's number one. And there's multiple farms on the map as well, so that definitely helps out. So just give me your thoughts below if this is a map that you might want to play multiplayer on the server once I get the server up and running. But I've been rather busy. I thought after the holidays would calm down that I would have a little more free time, and no, that's not the case right now. My real job is just pounding me away right now, so that's, which is good. Having work is good. When is so yeah, after the class tractor gets done down there, he needs to move over to the field right next to us, and I also need to do some landscaping over there as well by the house, because we did lose a little bit of the field, and I just want to landscape it, flatten it out. I don't mind losing a little bit of a field. Our fields are plenty big enough. But I was thinking today, I said, geez, what should I do for, next episode? Do I just want to skip the day and move to we can just go ahead and use the big bud and seed? I said, no, we'll get there. I said, this work needs to be done. Well, the cultivating didn't need to be done in the fields. But if I fertilize and don't cultivate, when it's time to come to seed, it's not going to give me a second stage of fertilization. I don't think. It never used to. You have to do like a job, a different kind of field job in order to get the second stage to work. That's the way it used to be, so I might be doing this. I may not have to. Maybe the seed drill that we have, maybe the game sees it as seeding, then fertilizing, and it would put a second stage down. But you know what? It gives us a use to use the Dutzfire, which has 72 hours on it. Now, those are not all hours. I use it probably in the first season when I was doing a lot of contracts. I was probably setting up course play and letting course play do a lot of the work and bringing in the cash. That's how we were able to afford this beautiful land over here. Once we got this land over here, the money just rolled in. We were able to do a lot of corn for ethanol fuel, which we have tons of at the ethanol plant. And what else were we? Oh, we started bringing the barley in, made some flour. That paid off well. I don't think I sold many of the crops that we had, except for the rye, which we just sold. Was that last episode? I think so. And of course, we got tons of spelt, 800 and some odd thousand liters sitting in the silo. I could sell that outright now, but as we saw, the best price I've seen on spelt is upper 700s. And it was the same situation for rye. But when the great demand came along last episode, the great demand, we sold it for like $920, somewhere around there. So an extra $100 per 1,000, that adds up quite a bit when you got 800,000 liters to sell. But I'm going to continue on here. Let me finish up this field. Probably when I bring it back, I might be down in the field below. And hopefully I have moved the class tractor along as well. I may have to go refill the class tractor with some fertilizer. But yeah, we'll have progressed a little bit when I see you in just a second. Well, field number 1 is done. Our class tractor is hugging the fence. Must be scared or something, I don't know. Thank you for your time and service, but you are no longer needed because you're trying to wreck my fence and my tractor at the same time. Actually, I got plenty of fertilizer left. I can probably do the last field without having to refill it. You park right here for now, and you won't need course play. Tractor was rocking on its own. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to set up course play for the Dutzfire to cultivate this field. But I will have to do the first row myself because the field is so close to the fence line, it's going to get stuck. So field 35. I'll have you go around 3 times. It's going to look really weird, I think. Field's not that big. Actually, it's bigger than what I think it is. Alright, which is always the case. Let me go ahead. Is that... Okay, now it's down. So here is not the issue. It's when I turn the corner down here where the field is right up against the fence line and course play hugs the fence so close, which it should, that it gets stuck. So once I get around the fence line, we'll go ahead and the worker that we just kicked out of the class tractor, he's going to come back into here. And he's going to finish off the field for us. So you can see how close the fence line is. And I'm just going to hug it as close as I can. Then once we get around the corner down here, course play should be good to go. We're going to grab the class tractor. We're going to go ahead and fertilize the field that's up by our house. And then do some landscaping around the house. Not on the cliffside because I don't have that much cash on me. But I got enough to do like around the front of the house is what we're going to do. Alright, so now if I just go ahead and say drive course, you should be okay. Good to go. I also put the speed on time down to 1 because, well, it's the first day of spring. And it's going to get dark here rather quick. As you can see, the tractors are starting to turn the lights on already. It's been kind of a foggy day, hasn't it? Kind of a, I don't want to say a gloomy day, but it's just been like morning fog all day. So I don't want to say morning fog, an all-day fog. But like I said, the good news is the temperature's up to 70. So I would assume the ground temperature, the air temperature's at 70. The ground temperature today is at 36. I assume when tomorrow comes, it may be up in the 40s. So we might be able to start seeding on the second day of spring, which would be good because that means, yeah, big bud time. What fields will I do first? I have no idea. I got to figure out how to fill the tank on the Seed Hawk. I don't think, I'm trying to remember if I use this, if I ever use that drill or not. And I can't remember if I have. But I don't think you can fill directly into the tanks itself. Maybe we can. I really don't remember. So bear with me when I start using that for the first time. Because on that tanker, there's like a little arm that comes out, like an auger arm that goes out and it pivots down to the ground. And you may have to fill it through that. So we'll find out together. You probably already know. You can leave a comment below if you want, but more than likely I'll have the next episode already recorded by the time this video goes live. So yeah, that in other words, tomorrow's video when I start seeding, yeah, I've already recorded it when you're seeing this, I'm sure. So this field here, down by the house, I gotta do some landscaping. We're going to probably take away a little bit more of this field, which is fine. I may put wheat in this field, or, you know what, I'll probably put wheat in the field that we just cultivated, the first field, because that's like right next to the farm itself. Coming through the gate that we just came through here, I don't have to bring all the equipment through the gate. So by doing the first field, this is ease of access. But I'm also thinking that we might go ahead and buy another seed drill, or not a seed drill, but a planter as they call them. So we can go ahead and do sunflowers. And I'm thinking over at the sheep farm, I may plant red cabbage and just regular cabbage. Yeah, and then we'll, when winter time comes, yeah, I'll have more than enough cash at that point because, well, I mean, like I said, we got tons of ethanol fuel to sell. I got plenty of spelt to sell. We'll have the cash. So that's not a problem. So I think I'll go ahead and probably just buy a root crop harvester and the headers for each individual head of lettuce or cabbage. Plus we get to see how it goes. I may also, you know, what the heck, at some point, depending on when the money starts coming in, we may go ahead and actually buy more land. So if you remember early on, I was thinking before I bought this land over here, I was thinking of buying some land over at the sheep farm. And I think that land was, I hate to say only 400 grand, but it was like 400 grand, somewhere around there. So we might actually buy more fields so I can just plant more crop in it. We'll see how it goes along here. Like I said, so right now, yeah, we're fertilizing this field. The Dutz Fire, he'll finish cultivating that field down there. I'll probably send him over here and do this field tomorrow because we're running out of daylight hours. I just want to get this field fertilized, do a little bit of landscaping in front of the house, and then we're going to take the class tractor back to the farm, put the front loader back on with a bucket, and see if I can get that manure out of that bin so I can properly fill it. Like I said, that doesn't work. I can try landscaping, but landscaping where there's already a placeable sometimes doesn't work. So hopefully I can clean up well enough to where I can put more fertilizer in there. Yeah, the snow is great, but boy, it can cause some havoc sometimes with your trailers and your fillable areas. Yeah, you can't dump something on top of snow either, so that's what I was trying to do at the strawberry patch. I know it was a quick winter this year, but I did it in like, what, one episode I think we did it. Because all I really did was feed the animals. That's pretty much all I did. We sold a little bit of crop here and there just to get enough money to buy all the nice equipment that we rolled in at the end of last episode. I have used the Big Bud before. Well, I shouldn't say I used it. In 17, I pretty much just, went on a test map, tried them out, drove them around. Like, oh, nice little machines. But back then, I was more like, they're not fast enough. Do I really need it? Because the modded T9 that I had the same amount of horsepower as the Big Bud had the 3-point linkage in the back, so that was, that's a big bonus. And the top speed of that T9, I think, was like 25 miles an hour instead of, I think the Big Bud can reach 18, 19, something like that. And of course, I do like my New Holland, so the T9 always outdid, in my mind, the Big Bud. But yeah, I'm here to try different things now and then, so the Big Bud it was. And it's going to be rather interesting. So the only thing the Big Bud we're going to do with it is seed the fields. But those are some pretty big fields. It was kind of funny when I unfolded the seed roll in, what field is that? Field 40, the big field. Even though that's like a 25-meter wide seed roll, it didn't look like it was... I was like, okay, it's still going to take me a while to seed this field. But not as long as it would with a 9-meter. And this should finish up fertilizing this field, I would assume. Can I get it all? I better go back and get that little bit of a strip where it's just going to annoy the heck out of me. Just knowing that it's there. Alright. Let me just look at the map. I didn't miss anything, did I? I think I may have missed a little strip down here. Or not. Nope, we're all good. Alright, let's drive up to the house area. And see if I can make this a little bit better around here. Actually, I better not park the class tractor there, because if I want to landscape, it might be kind of hard to do so. Let me park it over here a little bit. Now, I don't have an extreme amount of cash, so I don't know how much I can do here. Let's go in here. Landscaping, yes, please. Bring up the HUD. It's always good to bring up the HUD when you're doing this. Let's see. I wanted to do that. Yeah, that's good. The strength. Let's beef up the strength on the brush strokes here. And just smooth it on out. Like I said, I'm not going to dig into the field a little bit, but that's fine. And actually, while we're here, how much cash do I got left? Oh, we're not digging into it too much. Let's go ahead and see if I can smooth this out a little bit, so it doesn't look that bad. I just got to be careful because I don't want to, I think I may already have done so. Trying to see if I dropped the land too much here. Yep. I did just by smoothing it. Dropped the land right here. It's exposing. Did I do it here as well? A little bit. Actually, I did it all the way back to here. All right, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. So from here, flatten. That should raise it back up. All right. Let's narrow this so it's not as big as it was. All right, so I'll just fiddle with that later. Over here, I think we're going to do some cliffs. So we'll see how much money I got left in a while. So let's go back to this. And see, do I want this? Going to there. Yeah, that's fine. Give ourselves a little bit of a dirt road. Even though I don't drive the truck back here as much as I was saying I was going to as I originally did. And around this way. Camera's going to do that because of where we're at. Let me make this just a little bit wider. Here we go. And all the way down this field here, like so. Now, originally we were trying to put the house into these trees. But the trees were too much in the way. As they're starting to get to be in the way now. And the house was just a little bit too big to fit in here. And I don't own the land all the way to the cliff either, as we found out. The good news is I'm not chewing through the cash as much as I thought I might. And that's where we're going to end the road right there, because I don't mind driving through the field here too much, or do I want to get rid of that? No, we'll leave it just like as it is for now. That's fine. All right, let's skip back over to the house here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and change this. Is that? Yes, that's the correct texture that we need. But I would like to do something with this. I probably should have saved the game before I went in here and did this, but it's too late now. Yeah, because I don't like the looks of... The sharp edges kind of annoy the heck out of me here. Nope, that was all wrong. That was all... I hit the wrong button. All right, let's see if I can... Yep, now it's going to cost me even more. Alright, so I still got like a 44,000, so that's not too bad. But I do need to make it look better. So let's go ahead and come in here. Where is that other rock? Do I not have that rock texture on here? I don't think so. That's just plain old dirt, right? Yeah, we don't want dirt. Or that. Or that. That's grass. was trying to get the same color rock as it has in Green Mountain Forest. But this will do. I mean, this does not look pretty at all, so don't make me think, don't let me try to make you think that I think this is great looking, because it's not at all. It is not at all looking good. What I would like to do here is actually ramp down the land as it goes along, but it's going to look kind of weird, and I don't want to burn through all my cash right here. Alright, so the other thing I want to do, not that, is go back in here. Is it under decorations or is it under miscellaneous? I have no idea, because I don't remember. I tried using it right here. Details, nope. So let's go ahead and, how does that rotate? It rotates this way. Alright. It's going to be off a little bit, I think. Probably should zoom in a little bit. Ah, nuts, the fence are in backwards. So now what I need to do is go into the garage. Now I got to scroll and find that one piece of fence that I put down and sell it. Well, like always, when you're putting down the fence, it may look good from this angle, the way I was placing it, until you get closer and look at it from a different angle, then you realize, nope, you weren't on spot with it. Also, the other thing, I was trying to extend the fence even further over, and I'll show you what this fence kind of does. I think it was under decoration, right? Yeah, so if I go here, and yeah, it was this one here. So the problem is you cannot change the height of the fence. So if I press like Control Q and E, it doesn't raise or lower, so it's hard to make it look nice and even. It's always going to go to where my mouse cursor is on the left hand side at the bottom of the fence. That's going to be the set point. So wherever the terrain is there, I guess I could raise a terrain and this would raise the fence, but then it gets kind of picky. I don't know if I want the fence there. The only reason why I was putting down the fence was so you know, someone like me doesn't drive off the cliff. And yeah, I wanted the fence to at least go around to here, like so. Something I may work on in the future. But when it comes to landscaping, if you don't know this by now, I'll say this is what we'll do, and I may not do it. I don't even remember what mod pack I got this fence in. It is made by the modding welt pack is usually where I get it by. So yeah, I think I got that pack early when FS19 came out. There might be some updates to it, I'm sure, but I haven't been I don't want to say that interested in getting those updates. So I mean, it looks a little bit better. Now we got like a little bit of a yard here. I should probably plant the grass around here. And I probably should level this out because that looks a little weird. Let's go over here and nope, let's do that. And just kind of level this out. Like that. And of course, let's go ahead and plant the grass, because if the grass doesn't grow, it's going to look really weird. And what about over here? Now it looks all fine. There, that looks better. Not the greatest, but it's better. You can see where the land originally was this low, and I had to raise it up this high just to get the house to place. Well, not perfectly, but yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump in the class tractor. We'll drop off the fertilizer spreader. We'll get the front loader and the bucket, and see if we can go ahead and clean out the manure bin at the strawberry patch. Now I was thinking, can I get the big bud and the seed drill through this gate up here? This gate is kind of on the narrow side, as we saw driving the Big Bud back to the farm the other day. That it takes up almost the whole road coming down. So the question is, can I, will I be able to get the Big Bud and seed road through here? If I cannot, that's where the planter might come in, or I can use a horse pronto. I think it might fit through here. I mean, we can certainly give it a try when it comes to it, but yeah, I guess we'll find out in a couple days' time. Because the first fields I want to get planted are all the ones on the other side of the road. And let's go ahead and plop this down. I'm not going to need this now until the crops hit the first growth stage. I would assume that the strawberry patch has used all the manure that was in it. There wasn't much. It was like 2,000 liters in it. Yep, so our last job here is the strawberry patch. Empty it and see if I can refill it somehow. It's a mess. Alright, so it still actually hasn't used that much manure, which is interesting. But let's see if I can clean up around it. You know what? It's going to be a lot of fiddling. I think it might be easier. Let me try this first. Nope, here we are. You going to let me landscape there? Didn't think so. I can landscape in certain areas around it, but not at the manure bin itself. How about if I change that up? That might work. There we go. I was on the wrong tool. I mean, that definitely helped clean it up quite a bit. Did that get all the manure around it? For the most part, I think it did. There we go. I think that did it. Oops. Too many hitting the escape button too many times. I think that's a lot easier than me trying to get the bucket in here. Yes, that cleared up all the manure around here. Perfect. So now let's go back to the cows and grab some manure and we'll put it in there. And that can make strawberries all night long. Now the good news is, as the more cows we got, the manure is able to keep up. For the most part. I do have a weight somewhere, and my guess is that's over at the sheep barn. But luckily the wheel weight tires, the wide tires with the weights on them, it does okay with 6,000 liters of manure in the bucket. Just gotta drive kind of slow because, yeah, the bucket's gonna weigh us down a little bit. Make sure you get a side view, because that could also have been my problem in the winter months. I was just running around and maybe I put the manure in too quickly, or I got it too low and maybe it didn't register. Just want to make sure. I thought I said 1,300. I'm like, wait a minute, did it not register when it went in? Why am I having issues? No, it's registering. One more, probably actually 2 more buckets is what I need to do. And And as we saw, these strawberries, actually, do I have enough manure here? Maybe I'm just going to get the manure that I have. I said there, like I said, the cows seemed like they were able to keep up, but maybe not as well as I thought they were. The thing is, the manure seems to be a little bit off here because I got some manure on the other side, but to drive over that slurry pump can be kind of a pain in the butt to get that extra manure. So it is what it is. We got what we got, and the strawberry patch will have what it has. I'm trying to think, do the cows not produce as much manure in the winter months? And that's almost perfect timing. The Dutesvar is done cultivating that field down there. There we go. And the other thing I will do before I leave the strawberry patch is we will make sure that the tank has enough water in it. And now we'll come down here. Oh, how nice of you. You even folded up the implement. Stop driver. Dumblet course. And I will drive you up to the next field so I don't forget. And then we'll actually go back to the farm. We'll grab our pickup truck and kind of go down the new, I don't want to say new road we put in, but we just repainted it. So it's not that big of a deal. But we'll see how it is. And let me turn the speed up back to ×5. And we'll head back to the house. Probably still a little bit too early to go to sleep. But what I'll do is I'll speed up time so we can go to sleep. We'll sleep through the night and see what the ground temperature is in the morning. That way we can kind of see what our next day will be like. I think the truck is going to be right there. Perfect. I probably should be parking my tandem trailers in there as well in the new. Yep, still got that attached. I will park that actually right in the silo, just because I'll probably feed the chickens in the morning or something like that. Actually, let me just park it right here just in case. Just in case I get a great demand for a spelt, and that's the first thing I need to do. So let's head on home. I didn't really make a road for here. Oh, no, there already is a road here. I knew that. I remembered. There's a solar power plant that does give us a little bit of income. I think $10,000 a day is what it brings in. And really, I could have made a little bit of a road there. But this makes it look a lot better driving home now that we got a road. A little bit of a bump there. But then again, I am doing 55 miles an hour on a dirt road. That really wasn't a road to begin with. So when we come this way, this is where I want the fence at least come around the corner. The fence looks good going this way. There we go. I'll just park the truck there. Not going to bother shutting the garage door. No, 70 degrees out. I think we'll leave the door open, let it air out for the rest of the day in the evening hours. So it's 6 o'clock at night, right? Ish. And probably have to sleep 14 hours. That'll bring us to 8 o'clock in the morning. So we'll have a few fees at midnight. Not much. Just animal upkeep and property. Yep, no loan interest. That's nice to see on one of my maps, isn't it? So the ground temperature has spiked up to 46. 46. All right, so are there any kind of crops I can plant? Well, there's quite a few crops I can plant. We can do canola. Because I'm looking at the crops I want to plant. Canola and wheat. So yeah, we might go ahead. I mean, canola, we're plenty warm enough for that. So I tell you what, we will probably plant canola in field 40. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, right? Plant canola in field 40. Um, yeah, the Dutes Farmer will be over here cultivating this field. We will plant canola over here next episode, so it's going to be kind of fun to be using the big bud. Then in a couple days' time, we'll be able to plant some other things. I think we'll go ahead also at some point and buy the planter so we can plant the other crops as well. But that's where we're going to wrap it up for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you next time on Hazzard County. But until then, have a good one.